The stars shone brightly over Earth's orbit, but on the surface of the planet, life moved as usual. Children played in parks, people worked in offices, and scientists in laboratories quietly pursued their research. From the outside, Earth looked like a peaceful, ordinary world, but humanity was about to face a challenge that would make the galaxy notice it forever. Far away, in the heart of the Milky Way, the Galactic Council convened. This council was the center of power for dozens of advanced alien civilizations. Its members had technology far beyond anything humans had ever imagined. Ships that could travel light years in hours, weapons that could destroy planets, and intelligence networks that could see across galaxies. All of this gave them an overwhelming sense of superiority. When a human delegation requested a meeting, the council members barely hid their amusement. The humans arrived in a small but sleek ship, proud and confident despite the advanced technology of the aliens around them. The council chamber was immense, filled with beings of many shapes and sizes. Some had wings, some had multiple eyes, and some had bodies that glowed with energy. Every alien seemed far more impressive than any human. Ambassador Elena Reyes of Earth stepped forward. Her voice was calm yet full of strength. "We come in peace," she said. "We seek dialogue and cooperation with the Galactic Council." A large blue-skinned alien with 3 eyes leaned forward. Its voice was sharp and mocking. "Dialogue? You are a young, primitive species. What could you possibly offer us?" Elena did not flinch. She smiled slightly. "We may be young, but we are clever. We have knowledge, creativity, and determination. We ask only for the chance to prove ourselves." The council members laughed. It was not a cruel laugh, but one of disbelief. No species had ever dared to challenge their opinion so directly. The humans were dismissed as insignificant. They were given a minor task, to deliver a report about their home planet's resources. It was a simple mission, or at least that was what the council thought. Back on Earth, the human team returned home with careful determination. While the aliens underestimated them, humans had a secret plan. Scientists, engineers, and military strategists worked together, combining creativity and logic in ways the council could not imagine. They studied alien technology from afar, learning about their weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Dr. Amir Khan, a leading human scientist, stared at a holographic display of a council ship. "They think they are untouchable," he said. "But they rely too much on machines and patterns. Humans do not follow patterns. We improvise, we adapt. That is our strength." His assistant, a young engineer named Sarah, nodded. "If we can understand their systems even a little, we can find ways to protect ourselves and maybe even challenge them." In secret, Earth began building ships unlike any the Council had seen. They were not the largest nor the most powerful, but they were fast, smart, and equipped with adaptive systems that could change in real time. Humans also developed energy weapons that did not destroy, but could disable alien ships without harming life. Their approach was careful, intelligent, and humane, a perfect reflection of human ingenuity. Meanwhile, some aliens in the Council started noticing unusual activity near Earth. Minor Council probes reported strange movements, sudden bursts of energy, and unusual communications, yet even these signs were ignored by most. The Council believed that even if humans were clever, they were still too weak to be dangerous. On Earth, Ambassador Elena Reyes met with Dr. Khan and the engineering team. "We must show them that humans are not to be underestimated," she said. "But we must do it carefully. If we are reckless, we risk war before we are ready." Dr. Khan smiled. "That is exactly why we are human. We do not rush blindly. We study, we plan, we adapt. That is our greatest advantage." As weeks passed, humans trained pilots and strategists in secret. The young recruits learned not only the technology of their own ships, but also the methods of alien warfare. They studied patterns, logic, and tactics. But the most important lesson was to think beyond patterns. They were encouraged to be unpredictable, creative, and bold. Then came the day of the minor task assigned by the Council. Humans were to send a report about their planet's resources. It seemed simple, but humans added a twist. Instead of a plain report, they created a virtual presentation that subtly showed the strength, ingenuity, and resourcefulness of their species. It was carefully designed to impress those with wisdom, while seeming innocent to those who looked down on them. The presentation arrived at the Council chambers. Most members ignored it at first. They expected nothing of value. But a few, particularly those who had observed Earth more closely, paused. The message was clear. Humans were clever, creative, and capable. Not weak, not naive, not to be dismissed. Back on Earth, Dr. Khan addressed a group of young engineers. This is only the beginning. The Council underestimates us. That is our greatest advantage. They do not expect humans to strike with intelligence, courage, and unity. Sarah asked, "Do you think they will ever take us seriously?" Dr. Khan looked at her with calm determination. They will, but only when we show them that we are ready, not just ready to fight, but ready to lead, to innovate, and to survive. That is what makes us human. In secret, humans continued to build alliances with minor alien civilizations who respected ingenuity over strength. These smaller species had long been ignored or oppressed by the Council. They were intrigued by Earth's rise and offered support in technology, resources, and intelligence. It was the start of an interstellar network that could rival the Council itself, quietly and without alarm. Weeks turned into months. Humans trained, prepared, and tested their new technologies. Each experiment, each strategy exercise made them stronger, smarter, and more confident. They did not seek war, but they were ready for it. Finally, the day came when a small Council outpost in deep space reported unusual activity. Ships were moving with precision, communication signals were encrypted and clever, and energy readings were unlike anything seen before. A small Council team tried to investigate, but it was too late. Humanity had already begun testing its first tactical operations, small exercises designed to probe alien defenses. At the Council chambers, panic began to rise. "What is Earth doing?" one alien asked. "They should not be able to do this." Another replied, "They are clever, yes, but still primitive. They cannot threaten us," but deep inside even these words carried doubt. A few Council members began to whisper among themselves. "Perhaps we underestimated them," one said. Back on Earth, Elena Reyes looked at the stars. She knew that the path ahead would be difficult. But she also knew that humans had something no other species in the galaxy had: courage, creativity, and the unbreakable will to survive and thrive. She turned to Dr. Khan. "Are we ready?" Dr. Khan smiled. "We have always been ready. The galaxy just did not notice. Soon they will." As Earth's sun set on the horizon, human ships quietly left the orbit, moving into space with careful precision. Each ship was a symbol of humanity's ingenuity and determination. The Council may have dismissed them, but humanity was no longer ordinary. Somewhere in the vast galaxy, a Council member whispered, almost fearfully, "Perhaps we have made a mistake. Perhaps we have underestimated Earth, but it was too late." Humanity had begun its rise. The age of underestimation was over. The stars shone brighter than ever, and Earth's light, small, unassuming, but brilliant, moved steadily across the galaxy. The first steps had been taken, and the galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy had long looked down on Earth. The Galactic Council had considered humans to be clever at best, weak at worst. But while the Council focused on themselves and their own power, humanity quietly prepared. Earth's scientists, engineers, and leaders worked day and night, building a future that no alien could ignore. In a hidden laboratory beneath the mountains of South America, Dr. Amir Khan and his team gathered around a new prototype ship. Unlike ordinary human vessels, it was small, fast, and smart. Its systems could adapt to threats in real time, learning and responding to enemy maneuvers instantly. The Council had fleets thousands of times larger, but none could match the ingenuity packed into these ships. Sarah, the young engineer, ran her hands along the ship's sleek surface. "It is amazing how small it is compared to theirs, but it feels alive." Dr. Khan smiled. "That is the idea. Size and strength alone do not win battles. Intelligence, creativity, and adaptability do. The Council has strength. We have strategy." Far above Earth, satellites quietly scanned the galaxy. Humans had built a network of sensors and probes that gave them information about alien fleets, their movements and patterns. Even the Council's most careful calculations could not predict the unexpected. Humans could. In the training zones hidden within asteroid fields, young pilots practiced maneuvers that no alien could anticipate. They learned not just how to fly, but how to think differently, how to act unpredictably, how to improvise, and how to use the galaxy itself as an advantage. Elena Reyes oversaw these preparations, speaking to her team with calm authority. "The Council expects us to fail. They do not understand humans. That is our power. They see weakness. We see opportunity. They see limits. We see possibility. Remember, our strength is not in the size of our fleet, but in the unity of our people. In a distant sector of the galaxy, the Council noticed anomalies. Small signals, bursts of energy, and strange ship movements were reported. The Council convened an emergency session. "What is Earth doing?" demanded a Council member with a long crystalline arm. "Their ships are moving in ways we cannot predict." "They are primitive," replied another. "They cannot be dangerous. Perhaps it is just a minor test." Yet even as they dismissed the reports, unease began to spread. A few members whispered privately, questioning the wisdom of ignoring Earth's activities. Meanwhile, humanity did not attack. They had no desire to destroy, only to prepare. They strengthened alliances with smaller species, sharing technology and strategies with those who valued ingenuity over brute force. These alliances were careful and secret, hidden from the watchful eyes of the Council. In one of these allied worlds, a small planet called Ziphiron, the humans met with local leaders. The planet's people had been oppressed for centuries by more powerful neighbors. "Why help us?" asked Ziphiron's elder. "Why share your technology?" Elena smiled. "Because every species deserves a chance to grow. We do not seek conquest. We seek respect, fairness, and cooperation. Together we can build a galaxy where every intelligent species thrives." The Ziphiron people agreed. Small fleets of human and Ziphiron ships began joint exercises, learning from each other. The humans taught adaptability. The Ziphiron offered stealth and agility. Slowly, a network of alliances grew, a force that would soon challenge the assumptions of the Council. On Earth, Dr. Khan and Sarah studied the data from recent Council fleets. "They rely too much on repetition," Sarah said. "They repeat their patterns. If we can predict their moves, we can stay one step ahead." Dr. Khan nodded. "Exactly. That is why we do not fight like them. We fight like humans, thinking, changing, adapting. Their greatest advantage is their technology. Our greatest advantage is our mind." Months passed. Earth quietly expanded its presence in nearby star systems. Humans built small colonies on resource-rich planets, always careful to remain hidden from the Council. Each colony became a hub of research, innovation, and training. In orbit around one of these colonies, Elena and her team observed alien probes approaching. The humans had anticipated this. The probes were trapped in a web of signals, unable to send accurate information back to the Council. It was a small victory, but an important one. Humans were learning the power of planning, patience, and strategy. As humans prepared for larger operations, Dr. Khan worked on a new project, a weapon that could disable alien ships without causing harm. It was not meant for destruction, but for control. The idea was simple: to show power without cruelty, to assert dominance without needless bloodshed. Sarah looked at the prototype with awe. "This could change everything. We could stop them without killing them." Dr. Khan nodded. "That is the point. Humanity does not need to destroy to win. We need only to outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast." The Council, meanwhile, remained confident. They watched the stars, expecting humans to remain primitive, predictable, and weak. But humans were preparing something the Council could not imagine. A strike that combined intelligence, technology, and ethical strategy. One day, in the vast darkness of space, the first human fleet quietly moved into position near a minor Council outpost. Their ships were small, agile, and difficult to detect. Pilots held their breath as they waited for the signal. Every movement had been calculated, but every pilot was ready to improvise. Elena's voice echoed through the fleet. "Remember, we do not seek destruction. We seek demonstration. Show them what humanity can do when they underestimate us. Move carefully. Strike decisively. And above all, be human." The first human ships activated their energy disruptors. Alien sensors went dark. Council drones sent to investigate were quickly disabled. The humans avoided harm, targeting only systems that could be repaired later. It was not an attack. It was a message. Back at the Council chambers, alarms blared. "What is happening?" shouted a three-eyed member. "Our outpost is disabled?" "Impossible," said another. "They cannot have the technology to do this." Panic began to ripple through the Council. Small factions argued over what to do. Some wanted immediate retaliation, while others argued for negotiation. The humans had not attacked in anger, but they had shown that they could act decisively with precision and without unnecessary violence. Elena watched the Council's response from a hidden system. She knew that fear and doubt had entered their minds. Humans had not yet won a battle, but they had won the Council's attention, and that was the first step. In secret, human allies like Ziphiron celebrated. "Humans are clever beyond imagination," said one Ziphiron commander. "They fight with their minds, not just with weapons. They inspire confidence in all of us." Elena turned to Dr. Khan. "They will try to strike back," she said. "Soon the Council will realize we are more than they expected." Dr. Khan smiled. "Let them realize it. Let them feel it. And when they do, they will see that humans are not just clever. We are unstoppable when united." As the human fleet returned to its hidden base, the pilots felt a mix of excitement and pride. They had done the impossible, not through raw strength, but through intelligence, courage, and careful planning. That night on Earth, people continued their lives unaware of the quiet revolution taking place among the stars. Children played in parks, families gathered at dinner, and scientists studied the universe. Humanity had begun its rise, not with a loud battle cry, but with quiet, precise steps toward recognition. In the far reaches of the galaxy, the Galactic Council convened again. Fear and doubt had entered even the most confident members' minds. "We may have underestimated them," one said quietly. "Earth is not what we thought, but it was too late." Humanity had already taken the first steps toward becoming a force the galaxy could not ignore. Their rise was not through destruction or cruelty, but through intelligence, strategy, and courage, the hallmarks of a species destined to change the universe. The stars shone bright over Earth, and the light of human ingenuity spread steadily outward. The Council had dismissed them once, but humanity's time had come. The age of underestimation was ending, and the galaxy was about to witness the rise of Earth. The quiet of space was deceptive. Among the stars, small fleets moved with precision, carrying a force the Galactic Council could not yet understand. Humans were no longer just observers. They were actors shaping the future. Captain Amir Farouk sat in the command seat of the Horizon, one of Earth's fastest tactical ships. The cockpit glowed with monitors and holographic displays, tracking the positions of Council outposts and patrols. Amir's crew, pilots, engineers, and communication specialists, worked in perfect harmony. Each knew their role, but each was also ready to improvise. Elena Reyes, observing remotely from a nearby stealth ship, spoke through the comms. "Remember, this is not about destruction. It is about showing that humans cannot be underestimated. Disable, do not destroy. Be precise. Be clever." The human fleet had chosen a minor Council outpost as their first target, a station meant to monitor local sectors and protect supply routes. To the Council, it was insignificant, but to humans, it was a perfect opportunity to demonstrate strategy and intelligence. The Horizon led the fleet into position behind a dense asteroid field. The humans used the rocks to hide their movements from Council sensors. Small drones scouted ahead, sending back data on shields, patrols, and energy flows. "Shields at 80%, reported Sarah, monitoring the energy disruptors. "They are strong but not invincible," Captain Amir nodded. "Ready all ships. Remember, disable their systems, avoid casualties, and maintain stealth until the end." As the fleet approached, Council sensors detected nothing unusual. The outpost continued its routine operations, oblivious to the silent threat growing in its shadow. Humans had studied the station for months, learning its patterns and vulnerabilities. Every step had been calculated, but every human pilot was ready to adapt if anything went wrong. The first strike began. Small energy pulses from human ships disabled the outpost's surveillance systems. Cameras flickered, alarms were silenced, and Council drones were trapped in temporary loops. The humans moved like a shadow, striking faster than the Council could react. Inside the outpost, Council officers scrambled. "What is happening? Why are our systems failing?" One shouted. It must be a malfunction. But it was no malfunction. It was human ingenuity at work. The humans had designed technology that targeted only control systems, leaving life support, communications, and essential functions untouched. The Council personnel were safe but powerless. "Excellent," said Elena over the comms. "Maintain position. Observe. Record." Captain Amir's fleet moved in coordinated patterns, disabling power generators and communication relays. Each move was calculated to confuse and overwhelm the Council's automated defenses. The humans did not rush. They did not panic. Every action was deliberate. One Council drone attempted to counterattack, firing energy bursts at the horizon. Amir's pilot, a young recruit named Rena, reacted instantly. "Evasive maneuvers," she called, twisting the ship through the asteroid field. The drone's attack failed, and it was quickly disabled by the fleet's adaptive systems. The outpost's commander, a tall alien with silver armor, activated emergency protocols. "Send backup," he ordered. Earth cannot have reached this far. Prepare for retaliation. But it was too late. The humans had already anticipated this. Backup drones were intercepted with precision energy pulses, leaving the Council forces unable to coordinate. The humans had used their intelligence to stay 2 steps ahead, proving that size and strength alone were not enough. Inside the command room of the Horizon, Captain Amir looked at the fleet's status. No casualties. Systems disabled. Mission success so far. Prepare to withdraw on my mark. Elena's voice came over the comms again. Remember, the goal is to show capability, not to harm. Withdraw carefully and maintain stealth. As the fleet began its retreat, Council sensors finally detected the anomaly. Alarms blared across the galaxy. Human fleet detected. Engage immediately. But the humans were already gone, slipping through hidden routes and asteroid fields. The Council scrambled, but they could not find the intruders. Humanity had struck decisively and disappeared without a single life lost. Back on Earth, celebrations were quiet but intense. Scientists, engineers, and strategists congratulated each other. They had not only proven their technology worked, but also their strategy and coordination. Humans were no longer underestimated. Dr. Khan addressed the team. "This is only the beginning. Today we showed them what humans can do. Tomorrow they will see even more. But remember, our strength is unity. Our strength is creativity. Never forget that." Meanwhile, the Council convened in urgent sessions. Panic was spreading among the ranks. "How could they disable our outpost without destruction?" one member demanded. "They are clever beyond imagination." Some members argued for immediate retaliation. "We must destroy them before they grow stronger." They shouted. Others disagreed. "We cannot underestimate them. They act with precision, intelligence, and ethics. If we attack recklessly, we may unite other species against us. We need a plan." The Council's disagreement revealed their weakness. They had assumed dominance, not intelligence. They had relied on fear and size, but humans had demonstrated that courage, strategy, and unity could outmatch even their advanced technology. On the outskirts of the galaxy, humans continued their operations. Small reconnaissance missions observed Council fleets, noting patrol routes, supply lines, and weaknesses. Each mission was designed not to provoke war, but to gather knowledge and demonstrate capability. Elena observed one of these missions from a stealth ship. "Our goal is not to conquer," she told the team. "It is to show that humans cannot be dismissed. Intelligence, courage, and ethics, these are our weapons. They will understand that underestimating us is a mistake." Captain Amir, now back on Earth, debriefed his team. "You all performed brilliantly. Today, the Council has seen the first strike of humanity. Not through destruction, but through intelligence and precision. That is what makes us strong." Sarah added, "They think strength comes from weapons and numbers, but strength also comes from thinking, planning, and adapting. Today, we proved it." Across the galaxy, smaller species who had long suffered under the Council's dominance began to take notice. Stories of human ingenuity and precision spread quietly through communication networks. Species that had once been oppressed began to hope. Humans were not just clever, they were a symbol of possibility. In a hidden meeting room on Zephyron, leaders of allied species discussed Earth's actions. "Humans fight with their minds," said one elder. "Not only that, they show restraint. They do not destroy. They prove that there is another way, strength without cruelty." Elena smiled as she listened. Humanity's approach was beginning to inspire confidence across the galaxy. Their rise was not through fear, but through intelligence, courage, and ethical action. Back at the Council chambers, tensions were high. "They have struck, and yet no one is dead," a Council member said in disbelief. "How can a species be so clever and so precise?" Others whispered, "Perhaps we made a mistake. Perhaps humans are more than we imagined." But even as doubt spread, some Council members remained stubborn. They are still young, one said. They may be clever, but they cannot match our fleets in the long term. Prepare for retaliation. Elena knew this day would come. Humans had not sought war, but they had demonstrated a truth the Council could no longer ignore. Size, strength, and technology were not enough. Humans had courage, creativity, and unity, qualities that no machine could replicate. As the stars twinkled over Earth, Captain Amir reflected on the fleet's success. This is only the beginning, he said. The Council may fight back, but they will not defeat what they do not understand. They cannot match our ingenuity. Dr. Khan added, We have proven that humans can challenge even the most advanced civilizations. Our first strike was small, but it was brilliant, and the galaxy has begun to notice. The human fleet returned safely to its hidden base. There were no casualties, no damage, only success and knowledge gained. Humanity had struck the first blow, not with violence, but with intelligence and precision, and somewhere, deep within the council chambers, a voice whispered, tinged with fear and respect. Perhaps we underestimated Earth. Perhaps we have been blind to the true strength of humanity. The stars shone brighter over Earth, and the light of human courage and ingenuity spread steadily outward. The first strike had been made, and the galaxy would never see humans the same way again. Humanity had begun its rise, not through fear but through brilliance, strategy, and unity. The age of underestimation was ending, and the era of Earth's rise was beginning. The Galactic Council had always been confident in its power. Advanced technology, massive fleets, and centuries of control over the galaxy gave them an unmatched sense of security. But humanity had shattered that illusion. After the first strike by the human fleet, panic spread among the council members. Reports came in from across sectors. Outposts disabled, patrols confused, and council systems disrupted. Nothing had been destroyed. Yet the message was clear. Humans were clever, precise, and capable of outthinking even the most advanced alien minds. In the grand chamber of the council, debate turned to chaos. Crystalline arms waved, voices boomed, and holographic displays flickered with data. "We cannot ignore them," shouted one counselor. "Earth species is more dangerous than we thought." "They are clever, yes," replied another, "but they are young. They lack experience. We have the largest fleets. Surely that is enough to defeat them." Yet doubt lingered. Even the most confident members could not explain how humans had disabled an outpost without destruction or casualties. Their technology should have been superior in every way. But humans had won. And with restraint, ethics, and precision, Elena Reyes observed from a distant stealth ship. She watched the council debate, understanding the fear and confusion growing among their ranks. "They will not know what hit them," she said quietly. "We are changing the rules of this galaxy." Meanwhile, humans were not idle. While the council struggled with internal conflict, Earth continued to strengthen its alliances. Species that had long been oppressed, ignored, or underestimated by the council now looked to humanity with hope. Ships from Zipheron, Arcton, and other allied planets joined in coordinated training missions. Together they built strategies, shared technology, and strengthened communication networks. Dr. Amir Khan stood in the central control room on Earth, studying maps of council patrol routes and outpost locations. "The council believes they can dominate through size and power," he said. "But humans have something they do not: creativity, adaptability, and ethics. That is our advantage." Sarah, reviewing sensor data, nodded. "They think fleets alone decide battles, but they underestimate the human mind." Across the galaxy, smaller species began to question the council's authority. They had seen human precision, ingenuity, and restraint. Stories of humanity's first strike traveled faster than fleets, spreading hope and admiration. Species once loyal to the council quietly shifted their allegiance or simply withdrew support. Back in the council chambers, arguments became heated. Some members demanded immediate retaliation against Earth. "We must destroy them before they grow stronger," one shouted. Others urged caution. "Do not act recklessly. They do not seek war, they act with strategy. Strike too soon and you risk uniting the galaxy against you." The council was divided. Fear and doubt had replaced confidence. Humanity had not even attacked in anger, yet they had destabilized centuries of control. On Earth, the human fleet prepared for the next phase of operations. Captain Amir Farouk and his team coordinated small tactical strikes, reconnaissance missions, and strategic demonstrations. Their goal was not destruction, but to prove that humans could act decisively, ethically, and with intelligence. Elena spoke to the fleet before the next operation. Our goal is not conquest. Our goal is recognition. Show them what humans can do. Move carefully, strike precisely, and always act with ethics. The galaxy must see that we cannot be underestimated. The fleet moved silently, using asteroid fields, nebulae, and hidden routes to avoid detection. Every maneuver was calculated, but the pilots were encouraged to improvise if needed. This combination of planning and adaptability made human operations unpredictable and highly effective. One mission targeted a council supply route. Humans used small, agile ships to intercept shipments, disabling engines and communication systems without harming lives. Council fleets arrived too late, finding only disrupted supply lines and no sign of humans. Back on Zipheron, Allied leaders watched the news reports in awe. "Humans fight with their minds," said a commander. "They do not destroy, yet they achieve victory. They inspire hope in ways we have never seen." Elena knew this was the real power of humanity: strength without cruelty, intelligence without arrogance, courage without recklessness. These qualities spread faster than any fleet, turning allies into believers and opponents into cautious observers. The Council, growing desperate, sent reconnaissance fleets closer to Earth. But humans had anticipated this. Sensor networks detected incoming ships, and humans used stealth and clever maneuvers to avoid confrontation while gathering intelligence. Each encounter taught them more about the Council's tactics and vulnerabilities. In a secret communication to the Council, humans sent a simple but powerful message. "Do not underestimate us. We are not weak, and we do not act recklessly. Intelligence, courage, and unity define us." The message spread quickly. Some Council members laughed dismissively. Others shivered, realizing the humans were not just clever, they were different. Humanity's rise could not be ignored or contained. On Earth, Dr. Khan addressed the team. "The galaxy is beginning to notice. Fear, respect, and hope are spreading. But we must continue carefully. Our strength is in intelligence, adaptability, and ethics. We must always act wisely." Captain Amir added, "We are not here to destroy. We are here to prove that humans cannot be underestimated." Every mission, every strike, every alliance strengthens that truth. Meanwhile, Council factions began to argue openly. "Strike them before they grow stronger." One shouted, "No, that will only unite the galaxy against us." Another replied. The Council had never faced such a problem. They were used to intimidation, size, and power. But humans challenged all of these assumptions. Humanity's rise was not about brute force, it was about creativity, strategy, and ethics. Elena watched the debate, knowing that fear and doubt were spreading. The Council was divided, its authority weakened, and smaller species were shifting their loyalty. Humanity's first strikes had already achieved more than anyone could measure: respect, fear, and admiration all at once. Back in space, human pilots trained for larger, coordinated operations. They practiced complex maneuvers, synchronized attacks, and stealth tactics. Every mission taught them more about the Council, preparing them for the moment when direct confrontation might be necessary. Sarah observed the data from a recent reconnaissance mission. "They think they are in control," she said, "but we are shaping the situation. They are reacting to us, not the other way around." Dr. Khan nodded. "That is the human way. Observe, adapt, act. We do not rush blindly. We do not rely solely on size or strength. We rely on intelligence, creativity, and unity." As weeks passed, humanity's influence grew. Small victories, clever demonstrations, and ethical strikes inspired allies and unsettled the Council. The galaxy began to see Earth not as a minor species, but as a rising power capable of changing the balance of power. Even within the Council, some members quietly began to respect humanity. "They are not reckless," one whispered. "They act with thought, courage, and precision. Perhaps we have been wrong to dismiss them." But not all agreed. Some factions continued to plan retaliation, convinced that only destruction could stop humans. They underestimated the human mind, its adaptability, strategy, and ethics. And that underestimation would soon prove costly. Elena addressed her team once more. "The Council is in chaos. They are divided, uncertain, and observing us closely. We must continue our operations carefully. Our strength is intelligence, creativity, and ethical action. Humanity is no longer just a planet. We are a rising force in the galaxy," Captain Amir added. Every mission we complete, every alliance we strengthen, every challenge we overcome builds our position. The Council may try to act, but they are already reacting to us. That is the power of humanity. And so, humanity continued to rise. Stealth operations, ethical strikes, and careful alliances created a network of influence spreading across the galaxy. Fear and respect began to replace underestimation. The Council, once confident in its power, struggled to respond. Internal divisions weakened their authority, while smaller species began to look toward Earth for leadership. Humans had achieved more than victories. They had shifted the balance of power, changing the way the galaxy viewed strength, intelligence, and leadership. As the stars shone over Earth, Elena looked out from her stealth ship. "The Council is in chaos," she said. "They do not know what to do. Humanity is rising, and soon, the galaxy will see our full strength, not through fear, but through intelligence, courage, and ethics." The light of Earth's ingenuity spread steadily outward. The first strikes had proven humans were clever, precise, and united. The Council's chaos was only the beginning, and somewhere in the grand chambers of the Galactic Council, a voice whispered in fear and awe. "Perhaps we underestimated Earth. Perhaps we have been blind to the true power of humanity." The stars glimmered across the galaxy, and Earth's rise continued, unstoppable and undeniable. Humanity had begun to reshape the universe, not with cruelty or destruction, but with intelligence, courage, and unity. The galaxy held its breath. The Galactic Council had grown uneasy after Earth's calculated strikes, stealth operations, and careful alliances. Fear, doubt, and respect now mingled in the minds of even the most confident council members. Humanity had not destroyed anything, yet their influence and strength were undeniable. On the edge of a distant star system, the human fleet gathered. Captain Amir Farouk inspected the ships, ensuring each was ready for the decisive operation. This was not a battle of destruction. It was a demonstration of intelligence, precision, and unity, designed to show the Council the full strength of humanity. Elena Reyes spoke to the fleet over the comms. "Today we do not fight to harm. We fight to show that humans are a force the galaxy cannot ignore. Move carefully, act decisively, and remember our ethics. Intelligence, courage, and unity will guide us." The fleet moved silently, shadowed by asteroid belts and nebula clouds. Small Council reconnaissance ships tried to intercept them, but human sensors detected every movement. Using adaptive tactics, the humans disabled enemy sensors without harming crews. Each operation was a lesson in strategy and restraint, demonstrating a level of intelligence the Council could not ignore. In the Council chambers, alarms blared. Holographic maps showed human fleets approaching multiple sectors simultaneously. Panic spread among the councilors. "They are everywhere," shouted one. "How can one species act with such coordination?" "They are not reckless," replied another. "They act with planning, intelligence, and ethics. We underestimated them, and that is our mistake." Back on Earth, Dr. Amir Khan monitored communications from allied species. Messages from Zephyron, Arcton, and other worlds confirmed the growing influence of humanity. Smaller species admired Earth's courage and precision, inspired by their ethical approach to power. Sarah, observing fleet movements, smiled. "They think size and strength decide outcomes, but we are showing that intelligence and adaptability can surpass them." Captain Amir led the fleet into position near the Council's main hub. It was a daring move, close to the heart of the galaxy's power. But careful planning, stealth, and the advantage of intelligence made it possible. Elena spoke to the fleet one last time. "Remember, our mission is demonstration. Show them what humans can do without destruction. Let them see courage, ethics, and intelligence in action. Humanity will rise not through fear, but through brilliance." The human fleet activated adaptive energy disruptors, targeting the Council hub's defense systems. Shields flickered, automated drones were neutralized, and communication lines were temporarily disabled. Humans had learned from previous operations and executed flawlessly. Inside the hub, Council leaders panicked. "How can one species disrupt our systems with such precision?" demanded a silver-armored counselor. "They should not be capable of this." "They are different," said another quietly. "They fight not with brute force, but with intelligence, creativity, and unity. Perhaps we have misjudged them all along." Human ships moved with precision, avoiding casualties while disabling defenses. Pilots executed daring maneuvers, guided by years of training, simulation, and careful planning. The message was clear. Humans could act decisively with intelligence and ethics on a scale no one had expected. Elena addressed the council directly through a secure channel. Her voice was calm and confident. Galactic Council, we come not as enemies, but as a species capable of thought, courage, and cooperation. You dismissed us once. That was your mistake. Humanity cannot be ignored. We act with ethics, precision, and intelligence. Recognize our place among you, and together we can build a galaxy where all species thrive. A stunned silence fell over the council chambers. Never before had a species spoken with such confidence and clarity, demanding recognition not through fear, but through demonstration of intelligence and ethics. One counselor whispered, "They are not just clever, they are extraordinary. Perhaps we have been blind." Another spoke aloud. "We have underestimated them for centuries. It is time to listen." Elena continued. "We do not seek war. We seek respect, fairness, and cooperation. If you choose aggression, we will defend ourselves. But if you choose recognition, we can build a galaxy together, strong, just, and united." The council's divisions deepened. Some factions wanted to strike back, but others realized that humans had proven a truth they could not deny. Courage, intelligence, and ethical action were forces stronger than fear or dominance. In a private meeting, several smaller council factions spoke. Earth has shown what a single species can achieve with strategy and ethics. We should align with them, not oppose them. Yes, another agreed. Their rise is not through destruction, but through brilliance. We would do well to learn from them rather than fight them. On Earth, Elena and her team watched the council's reaction. They understand now, she said. We have shown them that underestimating humans is impossible. Captain Amir added, We have not conquered, we have demonstrated. That is more powerful than any weapon. Across the galaxy, allied species celebrated quietly. Humans had not destroyed the council. They had shown restraint, precision, and intelligence. The galaxy began to see Earth not as a minor world, but as a symbol of potential, courage, and unity. Dr. Khan addressed the control room. This is the power of humanity. We have proven that we can challenge even the most advanced civilizations, not with destruction, but with intelligence, ethics, and courage. That is the true mark of strength, Sarah added, and the galaxy is watching. Our rise is not through fear, but through example. That is something no one can ignore. The council finally convened a special session to acknowledge the humans. Earth has proven itself, said one elder counselor. They are not just clever, they are exceptional. We must recognize them as a power in the galaxy. Another added, their actions show that intelligence, strategy, and ethics can surpass brute force. We should respect and cooperate with them. The decision was unanimous. Earth was officially recognized as a member of the Galactic Council, a species respected for intelligence, courage, and ethical action. Humans had not conquered through war. They had earned recognition through brilliance. Elena smiled as she watched the confirmation arrive. Humanity has risen not through fear or destruction, but through intelligence, courage, and ethics. The galaxy will never underestimate us again. Captain Amir looked at his fleet. We have proven what humans are capable of. Today we are not just survivors or observers. We are leaders. We have shown the galaxy that creativity, strategy, and courage define our species. Back on Earth, people continued their daily lives, unaware of the monumental events unfolding among the stars. Children played, scientists worked, and families gathered, all under the light of a planet now respected across the galaxy. Elena addressed the human team one last time. The Council has recognized us, but this is only the beginning. Our responsibility is to continue to act with intelligence, courage, and ethics. We have shown the galaxy our strength, and now it is our duty to lead wisely and justly. Dr. Khan added, Humanity has proven its potential. We have not relied on fear or destruction. We have relied on intelligence, unity, and ethics. That is what makes us extraordinary. As the stars shone over Earth, humanity's rise was complete. The Council, once confident in its dominance, had been humbled, not by weapons or force, but by brilliance, strategy, and ethical courage. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans could not be underestimated. Creativity, intelligence, courage, and unity were the true measure of strength, and humanity had them in abundance. Elena looked at the stars one last time. Earth has risen. The galaxy has seen what we can do, and this is just the beginning of our journey. The light of humanity spread steadily across the stars, not as a shadow of fear, but as a beacon of hope, intelligence, and courage. The age of underestimation was over. Humanity had triumphed not through war, but through brilliance. The era of Earth's rise had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.